Now, I want to let you into a little secret today about square root notation. There are 3 different types of square root notation. The one you're most familiar with is that. No great surprise, hey? Or it could be written as that. Now, what that's saying is take the square root and give me the positive answer. So if you take the square root of 4, then you get 2. Either one of this notation or this notation, the answer is only 2. I know some of you are thinking, hang on, I knew that in year 7, but later on I found out the negative numbers can also be the answers of square roots. Whilst that's true, this notation says only give me the positive number, that's the result. And when there's nothing here, that's the same, that's implied as the same thing, only give me the positive answer. So then that's the type 1, then there's type 2 of square root answers, which say only give me the negative answer. So the negative square root of 4 equals negative 2. Alrighty. And what about this third one? Well, the third one is the one that we learn about later, which is this one, which says give me both the positive and the negative outcomes. So that's the positive or the negative square root of 4 equals positive or negative 2. So if you see any of these 3 in a question, then the question is predefining which one it wants you to give. If it shows part 1, don't give the negative because it doesn't want that one. All right, let's look at a bit more detail, some other examples. So let's say we have a question. We'll call this question 1, which says solve for me. Solve root x plus 1 equals 3. Now, you know that if you do the same things to both sides, then you're quite okay. So let's square both sides. If we square both sides, the left side becomes x plus 1 equals 9. And then we can take away 1 from both sides and get x equals 8. Let's just test our answer. Test it by putting it back into the original equation. And we get 8 plus 1, take the positive square root, and that's equal to 3. So that's what it's supposed to be. We're right, no problems there, pretty straightforward, hey? Let's try another one. Let's try question 2, which says, the square root of x plus 1, same thing, okay, equals negative 3. Now, what you might say to yourself is, alrighty, okay, as long as I square both sides, I'm all right. So you might go x plus 1 equals the square root of negative 3 is 9. Cool, and then I get x equals 8. How's that look? Well, unfortunately, we've got some bad news. That is wrong. We can't do that. And why not? Well, let's take that answer. If we take that answer, let's test it. And we put 8 plus 1, take the positive square root, we get 3, not negative 3. So that didn't work. Let's also think about on a graph what we've just done. If we take the graph of the root of x plus 1, well, it's that graph, isn't it? Starting there at negative 1. And we want to find when that's equal to negative 3. Well, negative 3 is down here. It's never, that graph is never somewhere on the negative 3 line, as we can see there. The only way you can get that graph on the negative 3 line is by taking the other half of that sideways parabola way out there, and then you get 8. So we've solved something completely differently the way we've done things up there. We've solved when the other half of this graph is that. So that's what can happen. Sometimes when you square things, you actually create a second leg to the graph, one that you didn't want. So just be very careful with that. That'd lead on to like a question 3, which might say the negative square root of x plus 1 equals 3. And immediately now we say, hang on, you can't square root something and then just take the negative answer and get a positive result. So there's no solution to this. This is just like question 2. Question 2 had no solution also. That's question 3 there. So 2 and 3 don't work. Let's now finally look at question 4. Question 4 says if we have x minus 2 all squared equals 25. All right, now, we haven't got a square root in this one, but But to solve this, we need to square root both sides. So we're making our own square root. Now, when you're making your own one, you want to make sure you think about all possibilities. So let's square root both sides. Square root of the left side gets rid of the square. Lovely. Square root of the right side. Now you're thinking to yourself, well, which one of these notations do you want me to use? Well, I want you to use the one that considers all possible outcomes. So we're square rooting that and having a look at both sides. So we say x minus 2 is equal to negative 5 or 5. So x then is equal to, well, we add 2 to both sides, negative 3 or 7. And if we test them back up in there, we're going to find that both of those work. So when you make your own square root, take the positive or negative one. When you're given a square root in a question, only use the direction of which way the square root is telling you it wants you to go. Hope that's nice and clear. See you later.